everybody. Amy with Jig and Chisel Woodworks here, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about my process for coming up with inventory pieces. So the majority of my work is commission based, so a client comes with an idea, we design it, break it down, I get the lumber for it, and we build it. But every project has scraps, and then I always end up getting scraps or smaller bits of wood from different places. Sometimes people give it to me for free. Sometimes I find it for cheap at estate sales or garage sales or wherever. And I can't throw any of it away. It's just not in my ability to do so. So I collect it, and then every now and then I'm like, I need to make some things. We have a market coming up or whatever. And then let me switch the camera around here real quick. So then I'll put it all on a table or whatever clean work surface I have at the moment, and I'll kind of try to organize it so you can see I've got some like chunkier boards, some thinner, longer boards, and some like round cookies, and I just come up with things to make out of it. The easier to make, the better the profit most of the time, but really I just go for what sounds fun and creative, and if I don't make my hourly rate that I try to make, it's not a big deal because, like I said, this isn't my main source of income. Mostly I do the commissions, but these are just to kind of get my name out every now and then at a market or wherever. So let's just kind of go through some of the boards we have here. This awesome chunk is Osage Orange. It's a very, very dense hardwood. And I actually got this for free. It was an offcut from the lumber mill up in Tennessee. And they weren't going to use it, and I had room in my suitcase, so I got to take it home. And it's the same place I got this piece of oak. They told me that this was from a tree that was about 200 years old when it was chopped down, which is amazing. It's a very dark oak. And I have not been able to come up with anything to use this for yet because it's just too beautiful and special, so it needs a special piece. These are just cutoffs from some 8-quarter oak. From part of this is from a table that I built, part of this is from a floating shelf thing that I built. Might turn these into like part of an ingrain cutting board if I can kind of make a fun design with a bunch of them and incorporate some other wood too. This is a chunk from a log that that we brought back from New Mexico, probably some sort of pine or fir, but it has this really beautiful gray coloring to it, some interesting grain and knot patterns. I've used most of this log, but this is just a little bit that's left. Have some spalted pieces. The cookies, I think, are mostly pecan, maple, and that one looks like walnut to me. I need to get some water popping or something on it to really see the grain. But a lot of these over here are just scraps from other little projects that I've had. And I'm just gonna make something out of some of this and take y'all along with the process. So let me know if any of this stands out and you want something out of one of these pieces. If you want something made out of 200-year-old oak and you have an idea, let me know, and we'll get you something cool out of that. But come along and see what this pile turns into. So the first 3 boards that stood out to me on my pile of scraps were these 3. So we have some oak, some walnut, and I think this is a strip of maple. But I don't know where it came from, so I don't know that 100%. But I look for mostly interesting grain patterns, interesting contrasting colors, and just similar lengths, widths, so that they're easy to get down to the same size. So basically, I will just be putting these 3 together, glue them up, and make sure that the really beautiful grain is highlighted. And I'm going to be making these into 2 arch vases. I've made several of those. They've all sold. They all seem really popular. And I'll be able to make 2 arch vases out of this one glue up, which helps cut down on time. And then I can sell them for a little bit cheaper, so they're a little more affordable for people. And so come along and watch me make these 3 boards into 2 arch vases. Okay, so I got this project glued up. We'll get 2 arch faces out of the length of that. We'll get everything planed down to the same thickness, get all the glue scraped off, but we'll do all that tomorrow after the glue sets. And I'm gonna go back to the scrap pile to see if there's anything else I can make before wrapping up for today.